guys, I'm not supposed to be working on this today. I got other things to do, so I guess I'll just be working late again. So I found out a bunch of things. Okay, first thing I found out is this is the motor that was in here that moves the arm and mechanism, okay? I took it all apart. There's a plastic gear inside that's stripped. So that jumping was caused by the gear in here. I tried to fix it, I couldn't fix it. So I grabbed the motor out of this other one over here, installed that, and now the arm is moving really good, but the needle kept jumping. I'm like, why is the needle acting all weird? Look at this bracket, it's completely bent. So I need to straighten this out, install it back in there, and then test it again. This thing has so many things that are messed up on it that somebody did. It's gonna take me a while to figure out. And then I have a leaf switch down here that I took off of there. It's completely broken. I don't know what it does. I gotta see if I can find that in the manual, but that's completely broken. So let me straighten this out, put it back on, and we'll see what it does. Okay, I have one back lever off of it right now because I gotta figure out how the hell that goes back on. But let's see if it moves now. See, that's jumping and I don't know why. That's not obviously supposed to do that. So I gotta figure out that. But this is moving, and this is opening up so that it releases the record. So I am definitely getting somewhere. Okay, put it all back together. I straightened that arm out and everything. It was still bent, and it wasn't, I don't think it was in the right slot. So now, let's give it a test again, see what happens. That's nice and smooth. That's really smooth. Okay. All right. I don't know why it keeps cycling, but it's working. Curious to see if it'll pick up a record. So technically it should move over, grab it. Okay, good, good, good. Uh-oh, arm's in the way. Okay, that arm's acting up still. We got this working. I don't know why it's rapidly going non-stop, unless it has something to do with this micro switch, or this leaf switch that's broke. Trying to ground it out and see what it does. I don't know. It's gone crazy. I mean, I'm happy that it's working. It's working good, really good, smooth, very smooth. That needle's not in the right spot. The arm, I don't know what the deal is with that yet, so I'm gonna look at that next, see what I come up with that, and then we'll go from there. It's getting a little bit slower. I wonder if the motor doesn't feel hot. Okay, let me see if I can figure out this arm now. Okay, the arm wasn't in the right spot. There's two pins that need to go between this wheel back here. So I put that on there. I stuck the record back in there, so now we can see if it's gonna actually do it. Actually, it's probably gonna go in the wrong spot. Maybe. Nope. We'll wait for another time. Why it's cycling non-stop, I have not figured that out yet. So now the next one, it should pick the record up. Perfect. It's gonna miss the arm. Beautiful. It's just, it only plays like a second of each song. It's the new thing. Okay, so we're getting somewhere. All right, so awesome. Now I gotta figure out why the hell it just keeps cycling and cycling and cycling. All right, I'll see if I can figure out something with that now. Okay guys, I think I have this working. I don't have a needle for it, so I can't tell if there's gonna be sound. I hear a little static here and there, so I think it's gonna work once there's a needle in it. So let's turn it to the operating position. But the only thing that it's still doing though is, it is just randomly playing records, like one after another, and I don't know if that's normal or not. Right now it's just spinning, which I don't know if that's normal, probably not. let's do a selection, and I know that that record is in C2. Let's see if it finds C2. There's C2. So it's going to put it on, and obviously there's no needle, so it's going to just kind of do its own thing. It's going to re-rack it. Now I think it's going to play a random one on its own. See, I don't know if that drum's supposed to continuously spin. That I don't know. If somebody knows that, let me know. But I don't think that you would want that to just keep spinning and spinning. Let's hit C2 again, see if it finds it. Yeah, it's grabbing it. So let me grab another record or two. They're filthy, but I'm not. It's not like it matters. There's no needle in it. Okay, so I just put one in. Oh man, it's going too fast. F1. Let's try F1. I don't know if that's the right one or not. And it is going B side and A side. Okay, I put a couple records in here. I had to stop the video for a minute. But every time I pick a record, it seems to work. Now, like I said, I don't know if that carousel is supposed to continuously spin or not. That's the only thing. And I need to find a needle for it. So I think once I find a needle, it's going to play records. I believe these are the upper speakers on the back of the jukebox, which are not currently hooked up, which need to be hooked up. They might be blown. I have no idea. We'll have to figure that out afterwards. But that's the least of my worries. Just getting this mechanically working is what I'm curious about. Okay, so I just stuck this in J0. So let's try J0, and then we'll try K0. So basically what that means is one side's A and one side's B. So we're going to do J0 first, and then we'll do K0. So let me turn this to the on position. So let's do K0 and then J0 after that. So let's see if it picks up K0 or not. It might have to go around one other revolution because it was on the wrong side. Okay, did not pick up the right record, but I don't know if I looked at that. J0. Yeah, it was K0. J0 and K0. Let's just see if it does anything. No, let's try J0. I might have hit the wrong number. So off by one. Either it's off by one or I'm doing something wrong. So let's try they're going by fast. I'm trying to read the numbers here. F1 maybe? F9 that is. Okay, so F9. Where's F9 at? So something's off a little bit here. It was just working fine. So I turned it off and back on, and then it started screwing up a little bit. So that I don't know why. Let's try turning off the thing one more time. Let's turn it back on. Let's pick G1. That's G1. Okay, so if that's G1, then the other side of it should be H1. So I need to pick H1 next to see if it'll flip it the opposite direction. So H1. Okay, it's picking up the right record. Now it should flip it the other way. Okay, so now it's on the back side. So let's try J1 one more time. So it should pick up and flip the arm the opposite way. Missed it. Did the right thing, missed the record. And that was G1. You know what, I think I typed it in wrong. That might have been my fault. G1. I don't have more credits. That's G1. I think it's working. I think it's partially me being operator error. When you put the records in there, you can see what you're doing a little bit better. It's not spinning. And the scan mechanism, it seems it worked a few minutes ago, so let's see if it works now. Yep, so our scan is working too. So this is how you load your machine, is you stick some records in here, and then you write down what records on what number. Your numbers are labeled here. You can't really see it, but they're there. And then you just scan forward a little bit, and you can put more records in and just keep repeating the process. So let's try one more time. Let's see if we can pick up this record, which we had a hard time before. J0, that's what it says, is J0, and the other one says K0. So J0 and K0. So let's try J0. Come on. It's got to go around again until it gets on the other side. It's off. It's like barely off for some reason. Unless, see, it's between the numbers here. J9. J9 and G9. Let me try J9. Nope. That is the J9 slot. For some reason, it's not recognizing that one. Let's move it over one. Maybe by stupidity, something stupid, that one's messed up. Maybe it's not even on there. I don't know. All right, let's try C0. So C0. Let's see if it'll grab that record now. Okay, so what it's doing here is this lever here switches the record from the A side to the B side. And then this arm will either go to this side. See how it's going to that side? So that worked. And that was, what did I say that number was? We'll see what happens when it puts it back. Let's see. D0, I think, is the other side. So now if you saw, the arm came to this side. So if I pick D0, the arm should go to that side. So D, I need credits. D0. So technically it should grab that CD, or that CD. See how it flipped the arm the other way? So now it's hitting the back side of the record. So this thing is working. I think that one slot doesn't work right. But I don't know that that slot is usable on this, because it only has numbers on one side of it. So maybe you don't even use that slot. I don't know. But I think once I get a needle, I think it's going to play music. I did change the starter out right here. So now this upper light's coming on and off when you turn it on and off. So all the lights are working. Everything seems to be operating like it should, except for I don't know yet until I get a needle. And the only other thing is it supposed to continuously spin? That I don't know. This is new to me, so that could be a stuck switch if it's not supposed to keep spinning. But as you guys can see, basically I spent a good full day working on this. Probably a good 8-10 hours. Obviously I didn't do it all in one day. Several days. I know nothing about this stuff. I literally, the first time I've ever messed with the jukebox in my life. And just by YouTube, reading, Joe's Classic Arcade, he helped a ton as far as his videos. I watched a bunch of videos last night after I did this, and went through all this, made sure everything was good, clean, running smooth. Then I was having a problem with this arm back here. I had it on in the wrong position. I fixed that. Then this arm right here for the arm for the needle, that was bent at the bottom, which was screwing everything up. This is a Phillips screw back here, and this adjusts how far the arm comes this way or that way. So that still might be out of whack once I get a needle, but we won't know until I get a needle, because once the record is on here and the needle sets down on there, we'll know exactly where it's going to start at. Right now, that's just gliding across the record. And these records are all filthy. I'm not worried about them. I mean, some of them are just junk. But there are some good records in here that I need to get out. So basically, unfortunately, I think this is going to be either to become a parts machine, or I'm going to turn it into a Bluetooth stereo that looks like a jukebox, because I needed that motor, because that motor was shot that was in here. And I guarantee that motor was shot because it was under high load, high stress, because that piston and everything was locked up from all that grease in there. On yesterday's video, you can see, if you guys didn't see that, go watch yesterday's video. You'll see how I cleaned out that grease in there, and that caused all that problem. And it was probably what wore the plastic gear outside of there. So I went on eBay and I found one of these. You can buy them for 69 bucks a used one, a good working used one, and it was $20 shipping. So that's $89, okay? So if I would have bought that, it would have been probably 90 some dollars with tax. I paid $100 for this machine, okay? So that motor alone, the $100 paid for that motor alone to go in here and fix this. Then I get all these records for free. Plus I have other parts still available in here that I can use, you know, if something else goes wrong. There's still another motor in here that runs the basket, and then there's another motor in here that runs the turntable, and then there's another motor down here that runs this part. So there are 3 other motors in here I can still use. This mechanism with the piston and everything, I'm sure this can be taken apart, cleaned, and used. So I'm not going to get rid of this by any means, but I might, I don't know, maybe I'll take the internals out, put a nice Bluetooth receiver in it, clean it, make it look badass, put the lights back in it, or maybe color changing lights or something cool, and then just let it play Bluetooth music. Who knows? It's an idea. But let's try this one more time. It's been running for a while. The only thing I have not figured out is there's a leaf switch right here. And this leaf switch was mounted right down here, okay? And what it was doing was it would rub on that thing. But you know, it only has 2 wires going to it. They're sharing the same terminal, and then they're touching each other right here. So is it even doing anything? Are they just using, did they just ground it out and eliminate that? Is that why this thing keeps spinning? To be honest with you, I didn't cut the wire. Let me cut the wire real quick. I mean, what's it gonna hurt? Let me get the tripod. Okay, let me cut one of those wires and just see if it stops spinning by chance. I'm thinking they just grounded the 2 together for some reason. Stop spinning. I'll bet you that's what they did. And I'll bet you that's what also wore this motor out, because I don't think this thing's supposed to keep spinning, but I could be wrong. But I think what happens is it comes around, it hits this roller wheel, which depresses down and turns the machine off, okay? Until you pick a number, and then it must move and turn itself back on. That's my theory. I could be wrong, but I just noticed that both wires were on here, soldered on, and then they took these 2 tabs, folded them over, and soldered it on. So to me, that's what they did. They basically just jumped that over. I wonder if I can, I have arcade leaf switches. I wonder if I can, if I have a roller one or something, I could look around. I don't know that I would, But let's touch the two wires back together. But that's going to be the last remaining thing I think is wrong. And I'm sure I can probably order one. And it's spinning again. So let me see something. With those disconnected, can I still pick a number and will it work? G1. Okay, so it's not working when I hit G1. But if I touch these together, will it find it? Didn't get it that time, but it doesn't mean it's on the right side. Grab G1. So this is the last thing I need to figure out. Why? How does this leaf switch work? That's because I disconnected it. Because I don't think that barrel is supposed to keep spinning when you're not playing music. That would be such a waste of electricity and strain on the motor and everything else. So, because this bracket goes on here, and it goes like this. Now maybe, see the thing is this was all bent up. This was all broken apart, soldered together. So I don't exactly know how this is supposed to go in the machine, but it's definitely the problem. So this is basically the last thing I need to research here. Let's try one more time. C2 and D2. So let's type in C2. Okay, and then what happens if I type in D2? Will it remember that as well? Now I don't know because I put credits in it. So that's D2 and C2. So let's see if it does anything. Let's see if it actually will pick up both of them. So basically it's going to be the same record, one side and then the other side. Okay. So watch the arm. The arm came towards me this time, okay? So technically, if you could type in more than one song at a time on there, in theory, it should go back in, bring it back out, and this arm should flip that way. So let's let it rotate because it has to take this arm, needs to flip up now to hit that. Oh, I accidentally disconnected the wires. So that arm flipped up, it's picking up the disc, and now it took it the other direction. This thing is working correctly. This leaf switch is the last thing I need to figure out, and I need to figure out what is the leaf switch supposed to rub onto. Okay, so I technically put 3 choices in. So technically it should go back to C, and then put the arm this direction towards me, if it remembers 3. And I don't think it does. I think it only remembers 2. So let's try one more time, just to make sure. Okay, let's try typing in G1 and H1. Or you know what, let's do it differently. Let's type in G1 and so G1 and D2. G1 right, and then D2. Okay, so let's see if it'll grab. There are 2 different records, 2 different sides. Man, that song played quick. Okay, now it should pick up the orange label record. Might have to rotate around one more time. Nope, it didn't have to rotate around, but the arm went the other way. So we are officially working. What happens if I disconnect these 2 wires? Quit spinning. Okay. And somebody could have jerry-rigged this down here for all I know. As much stuff that was broken, bent, and screwed up and not in the right place, I'm not going to put it past the people that worked on this that didn't do something stupid with this down here. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. Now, it shouldn't pick up any more records unless it wants to randomly on its own. So basically, if you watch this little black arm here, there's a label on this wheel that tells you what track you're on. And when the door's shut, I believe through there you can see that and read it. All right, so I'm pretty much done with this, other than getting a needle to see if it plays, figuring out that micro switch, or leaf switch, I keep saying micro switch. So, and then figuring out the speakers, and then when I get time, I'll clean this thing really good, restore up the cabinet and stuff, make it look new. I'll tell you what, I'm not messing with the mechanism. It's oiled, it's not rusty, I ain't touching it, it's working. So, all right guys, that's gonna end this video. That's gonna end the Rock-Ola jukebox for now, other than if I get a needle and I get it to play, I'll do a real quick video on it playing. Obviously, I can't play a song on YouTube for more than a couple seconds, or they're gonna copyright the video and I won't be able to put it out there anyway. So, I'll get a needle. I gotta figure out what needle I need, and as long as it works, I'll come back and show you that. I'll also try to figure out that micro switch to see what's going on with that. So if you guys like stuff like this, let me know. I can, you know, I'm always into doing something new and learning something new. Learned quite a bit from this so far. I do know that one tube is missing on the amplifier, and I don't know if that tube is supposed to be in here or not, but it's that far one. I did find some tubes on eBay, so I'm gonna order another one because these are the same numbers. And if I need it, I could put it in there. I mean, I think somebody was selling a 4-pack for like 20 some bucks. So why not, you know? So that's gonna end this video, guys. Please hit the thumbs up. Please like, subscribe, share. I'd really appreciate it. Leave me a comment. Let me know if this is the kind of stuff you like seeing. Changing it up a little bit. Who knows? I don't know what I'm gonna do next. I never do. I mean, sometimes stuff just pops up and it interests me, and that's what I go and do. You know, I'm getting into neon signs too now. There's going to be, on my other channel, I'm going to be building a box for this Ford neon sign back here, this arrow sign. It is an aftermarket sign. It is not an original, but it's an older one. It's heavy as hell. It's porcelain, but the dead giveaway is this right here. That sign, that should not say that, but I'll tell you what, it's extremely heavy. It's a good 1/8-inch solid steel with porcelain on it, but I need to make a 10-inch deep metal box for this thing, and then I'm going to send it off to the neon guy, and he's going to go ahead and neon this. Now, the original sign where it said service is supposed to have red neon tubes, and then I believe the outer perimeter is blue. And I don't know, toss up if I want to have him add a loop, a circle around the Ford or not in white. I think it would look cool. It's not an original sign. I mean, would it really matter, you know, to have an extra tube in there? He'd have to drill a couple more holes for a couple more insulators for the neons to come through there, but that's really not a big deal, I don't think. I'm sure he can do it. He's an old-time guy. He's really good at it. But, you know, I'm getting into doing stuff like that too. I kind of put that on my other channel because the building of the box part of it, I figured it was more towards the car stuff. Look at this mess. This is what happens when you work on shit. Disaster. But I'm excited. I got this thing working. First time in my life working on one. So this just goes to show, guys, you spend enough time researching it. You watch YouTube videos. I watch YouTube videos just like everybody else. And you just look things over until you figure it out. This is, to be honest with you, in a way, when I first started messing with this, kind of harder than putting a damn motor together on a car, because this is so much more intricate. A piston on a motor moves up and down, up and down, up and down. That's all it does. This thing goes left, right, up, down, you know, arm moves. So you have way more. This is more like a transmission of a car than a motor of a car. So, all right, I'm gonna quit rambling. End this video. Not a real long video, but I just wanted to show you that it is working. I'm excited about it. Can't wait to clean it up. Oh, I keep saying I'm done. One more thing. So somebody had asked me, am I going to get this stuff re-chromed on here? Now, a lot of these jukeboxes are not worth a ton of money. I have $125 into this. I have $100 into that. So I'm $225 into this. Okay, I ordered 3 grommets that I have to replace underneath the turntable, where I just temporarily stuck those washers last night. These stack of washers have to come off, and the rubber's got to go on there. Those should be here on Thursday. I think those are like 18 bucks, 20 bucks, something like that. I bought a set of starters for the lights for 10 bucks for a pair of starters. So I'm basically we'll just say $250 into it. Now, if I take these parts all apart and take them to the chrome shop, it's going to cost a freaking fortune. I don't want to spend, you know, this jukebox, what is it worth restored? $1,000, $1,500 maybe. I might try my hand at taking this apart, grinding it down. The metal's not pitted, just the chrome is coming off of it. Thinking about grinding it down and taking chrome automotive vinyl wrap and seeing if I can wrap those and then put it back together. Because if you think about it, nobody's going to be over here rubbing on it all day and night, and it's not outside in the weather. Why not give it a shot? If it looks like complete shit, then I guess I'll either A, paint it, or B, get it chromed. Depends, you know what I mean? How far do I want to go? How much do I want to put into this thing? And also this tub here it's got to go back in here, this fiberglass tub, it's really faded and yellowed and stuff. And I saw some of these units that had, this was purple, that pale purple, like this color. And I'm thinking about painting that purple. Just get a spray can, like a Krylon spray can that matches this close, like extremely close. And what I can do is I could take this off, I could take that off, I could take that out of there, and I could just spray it all with the couple cans of spray paint. It'll all match, and then it'll look a million times better. And then who knows, you know, maybe if the vinyl wrap doesn't look good, do I just paint these purplish, that light purple color? You know, I don't know. Maybe I paint the sides purple and I paint these black, but I don't know. I got a lot to think about. So, all right, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks.